Hello and welcome back to SAP ABAP with Jad. In the previous lesson, we learned how to make decisions in SAP ABAP using the IF statement. We learned about IF, ELSE, and ENDIF. Today, we'll take the next step. We'll learn how to use IF, ELSEIF, and ELSE to check multiple conditions in one program. What is ELSEIF? ELSEIF allows us to check another condition when the previous if condition is not true. And we can use multiple ELSEIF conditions. ABAP checks the conditions from top to bottom. As soon as a condition is true, the corresponding code is executed and the remaining conditions are not checked. If none of the conditions is true, the else block is executed. Example 1. Age groups. Open transaction C38. Create a new program called Z_IF_ELSEIF and save it as a local object. Enter the code. Explanation. Let's go through the code step by step. First, we declare the variable LV_age as an integer. Then we assign the value 25. The first condition is if LV_age less than 18. ABAP checks whether the age is less than 18. Because our value is 25, the condition is false. ABAP therefore moves to the next condition, LSRF LV_age less than 65. ABAP now checks whether the age is less than 65. 25 is less than 65, so this condition is true. The right statement is executed and the output is adult. The important point is that once ABAP finds a true condition, it executes that block and does not check the remaining conditions. The else block is only executed when none of its previous conditions is true. For example, an age of 70 would display senior. Example 2, score. Let's look at a second example. This time we'll use a score. Enter the code explanation. Here we first store the score 85 and LV_score. Then ABAP checks the first condition. Is the score greater than or equal to 90? 85 is not greater than or equal to 90, so the condition is false. ABAP then checks, is the score greater than or equal to 70? Yes, 85 is greater than 70. Therefore, good is displayed. The remaining conditions are not checked. Now change the value to 45 and execute the program again using F8. None of the first three conditions is true. Therefore, the else block is executed and the output is failed. This is how we can use IF, ELSEIF, and ELSE to handle several possible cases clearly. Important note, an IF statement can contain multiple ELSEIF blocks. However, there can only be one else block. The else block is optional. ENDIF always closes the complete if block. Exercise, now it's your turn. Create your own ABAP program. Create a variable called LV_temperature of type Y. Assign a temperature value to the variable. Use IF, ELSEIF, and ELSE. If the temperature is below 10, display cold. If the temperature is between 10 and 24, display mild. If the temperature is 25 or higher, display warm. Execute the program using F8. Change the temperature and test different values. Today you learned what ELSEIF means, how to check multiple conditions, how if, ELSEIF, and ELSE work together, that ABAP checks conditions from top to bottom, that the check stops after the first true condition, how to use multiple conditions to make practical decisions in ABAP. In the next lesson, we'll learn how to combine conditions and explore the logical operators and, or, and not in SAP ABAP. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next lesson.